Thank all of you for staying after church today to hear my speech for public speaking. On February 24th, 2009, what began as a sacrifice for Lent became a life-changing event. I had just turned 35, and already I was on high blood pressure and cholesterol medicine. My weight had reached 330 pounds, and I was barely able to walk up a flight of steps without being winded at the top of it. How would I let my health get to this point? I asked myself. I would think about the days when I was in the Navy, and I seemed like I could run forever. So when I was thinking about what to give up for Lent that year, I decided not to give up something, but to take up running instead. I thought by taking up something, I was actually going to be giving up something else that I would normally do, like watching TV or maybe even taking an afternoon nap. I wasn't foolish enough to take up this task by myself. So when my friend couldn't come up with an idea for what to do for Lent that year, I was quick to suggest that he take up running too. He agreed, and on February 24th, we started to run with the goal of the weekend following Easter to run a 5K. In my speech today, I hope to convey to you that running is the best way to attain physical fitness and maintain a healthy lifestyle. During the speech, I will show how the human body is actually made to run for long distances. A brief history on running. Phidippides was one of the first legends of distance running. He was known as a herald for the Athenians in ancient Greece. It is said that he ran 150 miles over 2 days to notify the Spartans about the Persian invasion. He then ran 25 miles from the battlefield in Marathon to Athens to bring the news of the Persians' defeat. Once he reached Athens, he said, "We have won!" He then died from exhaustion. One of my favorite stories about a marathon is about Abebe Bikila, who won the 1960 Olympic marathon gold medal. He set a new world record of 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 16 seconds. And he was the first African to win a gold medal in the Olympics. However, the record and him being the first African to win a gold medal are not what make his victory so memorable. You see, the 1960 Olympics were held in Rome and run on cobblestone streets. As if that wasn't enough, Abebe Bikila ran the entire marathon completely barefoot. One of my favorite books about running is by Chris McDougall, and it's titled, Born to Run, A Hidden Tribe, Super Athletes, and the Greatest Race the World Has Never Seen. In the book, Chris McDougall goes to Mexico in search of the Tarahumara people to learn about how they run. Tarahumara are a tribe of indigenous people in northern Mexico that have been running long distances since the Spaniards arrived in the 1600s. These people run extraordinary distances and have been known to frustrate U.S. ultramarathoners by beating them while wearing only Huriachi sandals and stopping in the middle of a 100-plus mile race to have a smoke. The people of the Tarahumara call themselves Rara Muri, which means foot runner, or one who walks well. Since 1976, the amount of people to finish a marathon increased by more than 17 times. There were approximately 25,000 people that completed a marathon in 1976, according to Running USA. The number increased to 425,000 in 2008. Not to mention, in 2008, there were roughly 900,000 people that ran and finished in 830 half marathons that were available to run. So is there any evidence that the human body was designed to run? Well, humans as a general rule would lose to most mammals in a race that required sprinting. Since most other mammals have 4 legs, it's really not a fair race. Most other mammals are able to reach greater speeds for short distances as a result of having forelegs. But when it comes to running distances, humans could outrun almost any animal over 26 miles. This is because the human body keeps cool by sweating instead of panting. As a result, we can stay cool over long distances that would otherwise overheat any other animal. A study in 2008 by the Journal of Experimental Biology proved evidence that the short toes on the human foot are suited for long, sustainable runs. In another study in 2006, at Harvard University, Daniel Lieberman studied the difference between the gluteus maximus in humans as compared to other primates. The study concluded that the gluteus maximus in the humans is only engaged when running. And being that it is one of the strongest and largest muscles in the body, the study concluded that it was actually made to run. The final evidence in that humans are born to run is the fact that endorphins are released in great numbers during running. This makes running a pleasurable experience for humans. Now you may ask yourself, is there any need for running long distances? Well, the endurance running hypothesis states that in early hominid existence, there was a need for running long distances to hunt animals, to eat. Prior to the development of the spear, the bow and arrow, humans may have hunted animals by chasing them until they were no longer able to run. This would allow hunters to eat meat prior to the development of hunting weapons. In conclusion, since I became a runner on that cold night in February of 2009, I've run in many 5Ks. I've lost over 70 pounds. By the following February 2010, I ran my first 10K, the day after a snowstorm crippled Atlanta. I followed that up on March 20th, 2010 by running my first half marathon. And between March of 2010 and March of 2011, I ran 4 half marathons. Why did I run them, you may ask? Because through this journey, I have become convinced of one thing. Bruce Springsteen was right. Baby, we were born to run. Not only is that a personal feeling, but as I've shown, there's historical evidence as well as scientific evidence to the fact. So in closing, I hope I have convinced you that while you may think you don't like to run, you really were made to run. Thank you.